What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Are you ready for something wild? Something we haven't seen in years? The Kansas City Chiefs are sitting with a top 10 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Yeah, you heard that right. And the last time that happened changed everything. So the real question is, are we about to witness history repeat itself? Because let's be honest, when this franchise picked at number 10 back in 2017, it wasn't just another draft night. It was the birth of a dynasty. Now here we are again, holding the number 9 pick, and the pressure is massive. Chiefs fans everywhere are wondering, who's the next game changer? And stick with me, because what I'm about to break down could define the next era of Kansas City Chiefs football. From explosive defensive upgrades to offensive weapons and long-term replacements, this full 7-round projection is loaded with intrigue. Let's dive in. The Chiefs coming off a shaky offensive season changes everything about this strategy. Instead of forcing an offensive pick early, the team can afford to go best player available. And that's a dangerous position for the rest of the league. Why? Because when Kansas City drafts freely, they usually hit big. At pick number 9, the name gaining serious traction is Ruben Bain Jr., the edge out of Miami. This guy is explosive off the line, with a first step that can absolutely wreck offensive tackles before they even settle into their stance. And in today's NFL, that's gold. Now imagine pairing Bain with Chris Jones. Let that sink in for a second. You're talking about a pass rush that could instantly jump into elite territory. That's the kind of move that doesn't just help the defense. It makes life easier for Patrick Mahomes by getting the ball back faster. And let's talk about that defensive front as a whole. If Bain joins a unit that already includes George Karlaftis, Drew Tranquill, and Nick Bolton, you're looking at a front 7 that can dominate games. Pressure, speed, intelligence, it's all there. Opposing quarterbacks wouldn't just feel uncomfortable. They'd feel hunted. And that's exactly the kind of identity this team could embrace moving forward. A defense that sets the tone, allowing Mahomes to capitalize. So yeah, while it's not the flashy wide receiver pick fans might expect, it could be the smarter move. Because championships, they're built on balance. Now here's where things get really interesting. The Chiefs also hold pick number 29, reportedly acquired in a trade involving Trent McDuffie. And what do they do with it? They go right back to the secondary. Colton Hood out of Tennessee is the name to watch. This guy is fast, physical, and incredibly smart in coverage. He doesn't get burned easily, and his ability to read plays gives him serious ball-hawking potential. Sure, his tackling needs work, but that's coachable. What you can't teach is instinct, and Hood has it. Dropping him into this defense could create immediate competition and possibly a new starter sooner than expected. Right now, the Chiefs' cornerback room has some question marks. And bringing in a player like Hood doesn't just add depth. It raises the entire level of play in that unit. Imagine tight man coverage paired with that upgraded pass rush we talked about earlier. That's a nightmare combo for offenses. Pressure up front, lockdown on the outside, pick your poison. And if Hood develops quickly, you might be looking at a long-term cornerstone in the secondary. That's how you sustain success in the NFL. Moving into round 2, the Chiefs finally address the offense with Alabama wide receiver Jeremy Bernard. And this is where things start to balance out beautifully. Bernard isn't your typical deep threat, but that's not what Kansas City needs right now. What they need is reliability. A guy who can operate in the slot, take hits, and keep the chains moving. And that's exactly what Bernard brings. Strong hands, crisp routes, and the ability to find soft spots in coverage. He's the kind of receiver quarterbacks trust on third down. With Rashee Rice back and hopefully avoiding suspension issues, and Xavier Worthy still developing, Bernard fits perfectly into this offense. He complements what's already there. He opens up space underneath, which allows the speed guys to stretch the field. It's a chess move, not a highlight move, but sometimes those are the most important. And let's be real, Patrick Mahomes loves receivers who understand spacing and timing. Bernard could become one of his favorite targets quickly. Round 3 brings a pick that might hit Chiefs fans right in the heart. Because it signals something we all know is coming. The eventual end of an era. Max Clare, tight end out of Ohio State, enters the picture. And yes, this is about preparing for life after Travis Kelce. Kelce is still elite, But the reality is clear, the clock is ticking. Drafting Claire now gives the team time to develop him without pressure. He's not a perfect prospect. His blocking needs work, no doubt. But as a receiving threat, he's got real upside. Kansas City's offense has always thrived with a dynamic tight end. Getting ahead of the curve here could prevent a major drop-off when Kelsey eventually steps away. And imagine learning from Kelsey for a full season. That's like getting a masterclass in route running, positioning, and football IQ. By round 4, the Chiefs shift focus back to the trenches with offensive tackle Austin Barber. And this is about competition as much as it is depth. With Jawan Taylor no longer in the picture, Jalen Moore is expected to step in. He's solid but not untouchable. Barber brings strength and physicality. He's not flashy, but he can hold his ground, and that matters in protecting Mahomes. Sure, he can get a bit stiff at times, and his technique isn't perfect. But the tools are there. And in the right system, he could develop into a reliable option. Depth on the offensive line is never a bad thing, especially when your franchise quarterback is your most valuable asset. And if Barber pushes more, that's a win-win situation for the Chiefs. Now let's talk about the backfield. In round 5, the Chiefs grab Kaytron Allen out of Penn State, and this is all about depth and physicality. Even with Kenneth Walker reportedly leading the charge, you need insurance. Running backs take hits. It's part of the game. Allen is a downhill runner. He thrives between the tackles and isn't afraid of contact. He can wear down defenses. He's not going to light it up in the passing game, but that's okay. Kansas City already has options for that role. What Allen brings is toughness, the ability to grind out yards and control the clock when needed. And in the playoffs, that kind of player becomes incredibly valuable. Later in round 5, the Chiefs add Cameron Ball, a defensive tackle from Arkansas. And this is a move for the future. At 310 pounds, he's built to stop the run. He's not flashy, but he's effective in the trenches. Right now, there's no urgent need, but depth on the defensive line is critical over a long season. And contracts come and go. Planning ahead ensures you're never caught off guard. Ball could develop into a key rotational piece, and those players matter more than people realize. Still in round 5, linebacker Xavier Sori Jr. enters the mix. And this one is about both depth and potential. With Drew Tranquill nearing the end of his contract, the Chiefs need to think ahead. Sori is athletic, especially in coverage. That's huge in today's NFL, where linebackers are constantly tested in space. He needs to improve his discipline against the run, but that can be coached. Early on, he'll contribute on special teams. But don't be surprised if he earns a bigger role as the season progresses. Finally, in round 6, the Chiefs take a chance on Lorenzo Styles Jr., and this might be one of the most intriguing picks. Originally a wide receiver, he transitioned to defensive back. That means he brings unique insight and athleticism to the position. He's still raw, no doubt, but the versatility is exciting. He can play corner, safety, and even contribute on special teams as a returner. And let's not forget, Andy Reid loves creative players. Trick plays, gadget packages, Styles could be a hidden weapon. So when you step back and look at this entire draft class, what do you see? I see balance. I see planning. I see a team that's not just thinking about now but the future. From reinforcing the defense to preparing for life after legends, this draft could quietly reshape the Kansas City Chiefs. It might not have that instant superstar headline like 2017, but it could be the foundation of the next great chapter. And now I want to hear from you, Chiefs Kingdom. Would you go defense at number 9? Or grab a wide receiver if available? Which pick do you love the most in this projection? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate this like real fans. And if you're hyped for the future of the Kansas City Chiefs, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this with every Chiefs fan you know. Because we're just getting started, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.